When I started Alibaba, I knew I had only one chance. There was no money, no support, and definitely no plan B to rely on if things went wrong. But that's precisely what drove us. Without an alternative path, all my focus, energy, and dedication were channeled into Plan A. Having a Plan B is a kind of trap that makes us believe there's an easy way out. And I've always believed that if you want to achieve something big, you can't get distracted by alternatives. This question was my daily fuel, a reminder that I needed to act, even without guarantees. This absolute commitment brings something magical. It makes us face uncertainty without fear. When you put all your effort into a single direction, every action becomes decisive. With no safety net, there's no room for hesitation, and it's in this discomfort that innovation is born. I remember sleepless nights surrounded by people who shared the same dream, but who, like me, also had no guarantees. When we faced an obstacle, the only option was to find a solution. After all, it was all or nothing. Instead of trying to change reality, I adapted to it and looked within myself for answers, which made all the difference. Once, someone asked me the secret to catching the rabbit. I said, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. That's what Plan A does. It requires you to mold, develop, and transform yourself to reach your goal. I didn't seek shortcuts or excuses. I sought ways to grow. This focus is what strengthens us. When you focus on a clear goal, you realize you have much more capacity than you imagined, but you only discover this when you eliminate distractions. Of course, moving forward without a fallback plan is uncomfortable, but this lack of options was what pushed us to fight and innovate constantly. Imagine if I had given up at the first signs of difficulty. The pressure, tension, and even fear were essential to fuel creativity and courage. After all, innovation requires bold decisions, and I didn't want an easy way out, but a solid path to turn my vision into reality. So when you commit to a single goal, focus and discipline become powerful allies. Not having a Plan B is a bold choice, but it's this choice that separates those who give up from those who turn dreams into reality. Many people fear discomfort, but I've learned it's what truly makes us grow. In the beginning, when I founded Alibaba, we had no money, no infrastructure, no government support, nothing. Everything was a huge challenge. But I realized that without a safety net, I had to make everything work. This discomfort, this constant pressure, was exactly what drove me to find innovative solutions. The lack of resources forced us to think differently, to be creative, and to give our best. Without options to fall back on, every decision was crucial. People who rely on alternative plans often relax, but without a Plan B, you can't afford that luxury. And I learned that when there are no options to retreat, your potential grows exponentially. That discomfort wasn't a burden, but a force pushing me to get the best out of myself and those around me. I knew that if I failed, there would be no excuses or justifications. And that taught me to be responsible for my own fate. This healthy discomfort is what pushes each of us to our limits and reveals who we truly are. Some friends said that what I was doing was too risky, that I should have an alternative in case it didn't work. But I'd respond, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. I never wanted to change the challenge. I wanted to grow to meet it. And it was precisely this lack of security that brought new energy and made me think and act in a completely different way. In discomfort, I saw growth opportunities, not obstacles. That's how I understood that discomfort is the true engine for any innovation. When everything around you is stable and safe, it's easy to fall into a comfort zone and lose ambition. But it's in the midst of pressure that you truly learn, adapt, and discover solutions you hadn't imagined. This mindset of always seeing discomfort as a driver helped me turn Alibaba into a global powerhouse, even without the resources competitors had. And if you think discomfort is a weight, know that it's actually a gift. It taught me to never give up and to face the future with confidence. If you want something truly big, ask yourself, are you willing to give up comfort to grow? Because to achieve your dreams, you need the courage to step into unknown territories. Trusting that, even without security, you'll always find a way to surpass yourself. From the start, when Alibaba was still just a crazy dream, I learned that success demands total commitment. For me, it made no sense to invest only part of my time or energy in a project I truly believed in. I was either 100% dedicated or it wasn't worth it. At that time, many people called me reckless, saying I should reduce the risks. But I knew that the only way to turn that dream into reality was to dive in headfirst, with no reservations. When you commit like that, something incredible happens. You develop a willpower that doesn't break in the face of any obstacle. The key to this commitment lies in passion. I wasn't just looking to create a company. I wanted to build something meaningful that would change people's lives. If I had the slightest doubt about this, maybe I wouldn't have had the energy needed to face all the challenges that came our way. But my commitment was absolute, and that made me tireless. Deep down, I knew that not having a plan B was precisely what made me fight even harder. This kind of dedication requires you to believe, even when no one else does. It makes you resilient. I won't lie, it was a difficult choice. Many times it seemed easier to quit. The pressure was enormous, but I would remind myself of my purpose. When I think back on everything I went through to build Alibaba, I realize that commitment is more than discipline. It's the decision to trust yourself and what you're creating. And when you put everything on the line, life responds with new possibilities. For those who want to achieve something truly great, I always say you have to view commitment as a daily choice, almost like an oath. It doesn't work to be committed some days and not others. True commitment is what moves you constantly, even when the road gets rough. When I founded Alibaba, my team and I were small compared to the giants. But this absolute commitment made us keep going, growing little by little until our presence was felt. So, if you want to accomplish something truly significant, you need to ask yourself, are you willing to commit without reservation? Without a guarantee of success? Without the certainty it will work out? This is the kind of commitment that transforms a dream into reality and builds not just a business, but an extraordinary life. When people talk about the fear of failure, I understand what it means. I was rejected countless times, from job interviews to attempts to get into good universities. When KFC first came to my city, I was the only one out of 24 applicants who didn't get hired. But the truth is that each of those failures was essential to what I would eventually build. Failure teaches us something that success cannot. It shows us our weak points, reveals what needs improvement, and makes us stronger for the next attempt. Over time, I realized that failing doesn't mean you're incapable. On the contrary, it confirms that you're trying, that you're in motion, exploring the unknown. If I had given up after the first rejections, I would never have learned what was really needed to create something lasting. Failure brought me the most valuable lessons of my life, the ones that taught me to be resilient and see challenges with clarity. Each mistake, no matter how tough, paved the way to my next success. Throughout Alibaba's journey, there were moments when I thought we wouldn't make it. Mistakes were made and wrong decisions were taken. But the most important thing was to keep going, correcting what needed to be corrected. Failure is a constant learning process, and each one is an opportunity to adapt. I learned that if you want to build something innovative, you must be prepared to deal with difficulties without being defeated. I believe the real issue isn't making mistakes, but giving up. Over time, I developed a sense of respect for failure. It kept me humble and focused, knowing that at any moment, I could be challenged again. This mindset helped me face market uncertainties with courage and vision. I wasn't building Alibaba just to be another company, but to create something that truly made a difference. This greater purpose helped me view every stumble as an essential part of the journey. So remember that failure is a critical part of growth. When we look back, we see that it was the difficulties and challenges that shaped our character and prepared us for something even greater. Failure is part of the process to success, and understanding that makes the journey lighter and ultimately much more rewarding. One thing I've learned in life is that we all fall. The secret isn't to avoid the falls, but to learn how to get up stronger each time. In the early days of building Alibaba, we faced rejections and failures on all sides. Investors, partner companies, and even friends doubted we could go far. But I knew that real value wasn't in never failing, but in having the courage to try again, to persist. For me, resilience is what separates those who truly achieve success from those who give up along the way. This ability to persist is what kept me standing amid so many difficulties. I remember times when it seemed impossible to continue, when the urge to quit knocked at the door. But I believe that with each new attempt, I was closer to building something meaningful. It was in those moments that I remembered stories of other entrepreneurs who had overcome great obstacles. These stories inspired me to stand up once more and give my best. Resilience isn't something that develops overnight. It's built with each fall, with each decision to keep going. In the early years of Alibaba, many mistakes were made, and each of them served to strengthen our vision and determination. I learned to view each failure as training, a preparation for the bigger challenges that lay ahead. Over time, it became clear to me that resilience is the strength that allows one to turn an idea into reality. Moreover, this ability to rise, even when everything seems lost, inspires and motivates those around you. When you persist, even in tough times, you become a reference of strength and courage. My team knew I wouldn't give up, and this mutual commitment helped us build Alibaba with a solid foundation. Resilience, after all, isn't just about results. It's about keeping faith and willpower, no matter what happens. True resilience is moving forward, with or without support, with or without certainties. It's knowing that every step you take, even the hardest ones, is preparation for something greater. Looking back, I see that it was these moments of falling and rising that made us who we are. The journey is full of challenges, but they're what transform us, mold us, and prepare us to achieve our biggest dreams. Persistence is, without a doubt, one of the greatest secrets to success. In the beginning, when everything seemed against us, I had to learn that it wasn't enough to try once and give up. Often it felt like every door was closed, and no one believed in our dream of transforming Alibaba into a global platform. However, I learned that success only comes to those who have the courage to insist, to keep trying, even when everything seems to fall apart. Persistence is a constant exercise that strengthens our willpower and shapes the path. Every challenge we face taught me that persistence is an essential skill. In the toughest moments, I realized that the more I insisted, the more I learned from each attempt. Failure ceased to be a sign of defeat and became an opportunity for improvement. Persistence is a daily practice of growth, transforming every mistake into fuel for the next step. Back then, the market was unforgiving, but I knew the only way to build something lasting was to keep going. In business, many people try, but few persist. I once heard that patience is bitter, but its fruits are sweet. Nothing could be truer. To persist is to have patience, even amid uncertainty, and to trust that every effort counts, even if we don't see immediate results. In Alibaba's early years, many times we came close to total failure. But each time we resisted these difficulties, we grew stronger and more confident to face the next challenge. For me, persisting was more than a necessity. It was a commitment to the vision I had. Looking forward and moving on, even in the face of failure, taught me to be more patient, not to seek immediate solutions, but to trust that continuous and disciplined work would bring the results we dreamed of. And persistence, over time, began to fruit, opening doors and opportunities that once seemed unreachable. Persistence was transforming our struggles into stepping stones toward the vision we held so dearly. Alibaba wasn't built overnight. It took relentless, repeated efforts, facing obstacles head-on, and staying focused, even when the odds were against us. To persist means betting on your own potential, even when no one else does. It's one of the most powerful forces we can develop because it keeps us steady on the path, no matter the adversities. This was how Alibaba was built, not overnight, but with consistent effort, with a determination that refused to give up. Each step, each attempt, was part of a journey that made our vision possible. At the beginning of Alibaba, I learned something essential. Fear is one of the biggest blocks to success. It's natural to fear failure, but I realized that fear couldn't paralyze me. When I founded the company, there were no guarantees things would work out. Everything was a gamble. I noticed that if I allowed fear to take over, I would lose focus and enthusiasm. So I decided I wouldn't let the fear of failure hinder my vision. Relaxing and moving forward, even knowing the risks, was one of the most important steps to unlocking my true potential. Fear often makes us doubt our abilities, but I believe true freedom comes when we accept the risk of failure. No one becomes great without taking risks along the way. To succeed in the market, I needed to be open-minded and courageous enough to push forward, even when doubts surfaced. Fear is a thief of opportunities, and if we allow it to grow, we end up losing confidence in our potential. I understood that as long as I remained frozen by the possibility of failing, my capacity to innovate and create would also be limited. Once, someone told me that to achieve something, you need to be willing to fail and get back up. This mindset was a revelation to me. With each challenge, my work became stronger because there was no fear of making mistakes, only a willingness to learn. This confidence not only propelled my journey, but also encouraged my team to take more risks and go further. We knew that, even in the face of difficulties, our work had a purpose, and that outweighed any apprehension. To me, working without fear doesn't mean ignoring the risks, but rather trusting that you are prepared to face them. I believe that great achievements come from those who can turn fear into positive energy, a driving force. When we work with this mindset, we start freeing ourselves from self-imposed limits. I saw that fear couldn't be an obstacle, but a reminder that we're heading towards something important, something that demands the best of us. So, instead of worrying about failure, work with courage and confidence. Remove fear from the equation, and you'll see your productivity and creativity soar. In the end, true success is achieved by those who know how to turn fear into motivation and keep moving forward, seizing every opportunity with confidence and determination. Throughout my journey, I learned that failure is actually one of the best teachers we can have. In the early days of Alibaba, we faced a series of challenges: closed doors, lack of investors, and constant rejections. Each obstacle seemed like an insurmountable barrier, but I soon realized that each one brought a valuable lesson. If you want to truly grow, you have to face mistakes head-on and learn from them. Failures teach us to adjust our course, to understand what works and what needs improvement. Without them, the path to success is incomplete. Many people fear mistakes and end up avoiding situations that might lead to failure. But by doing so, they also avoid the learning opportunities that come with each error. For me, each failure became a chance for reflection and self-discovery. Learning from failures is like polishing a rough stone. It's painful but necessary, and in the end, you become stronger and wiser. During Alibaba's early years, failure was an old friend, and each lesson from it prepared us for the challenges to come. Instead of seeing mistakes as defeats, I began to view them as steps closer to success. Every failure we faced made us more resilient and creative, shaping our capacity to innovate. We faced many rejections from investors who said that e-commerce in China was crazy. But instead of getting discouraged, we used those rejections as motivation to improve and keep going. This perspective taught me to see failure as a natural part of the journey, not as an endpoint. It's common to want to avoid mistakes, but if we do, we miss out on one of the richest sources of learning. When something didn't go as expected, I would ask myself, what can I do better next time? The mistake would transform into experience, and that experience brought us closer to our vision. Over time, it became clear to me that the most valuable lessons are the ones that come from failure, because they teach us to be humble, recognize our limitations, and grow. That's why I see failure not as an enemy, but as an essential partner in the journey of entrepreneurship. It makes us stronger, more prepared, and more aware of our strengths and weaknesses. Learning from mistakes is accepting the reality that every step matters. And with each lesson, we're closer to achieving something extraordinary. From the start, I knew that to turn an idea into something real, it was essential to have a well-defined goal. In the case of Alibaba, the vision was always clear: to empower small businesses and enable them to compete globally. This goal wasn't just a desire, but a guide for every decision we made, from the early days when we worked without resources in a cramped apartment. Having a concrete objective gave us direction and purpose, something that kept our team united and motivated, even when everything seemed to fall apart. When you have clarity about where you want to go, the path becomes easier to navigate, even if it's full of challenges. With a single goal in mind, I was able to avoid many distractions and stay focused on what truly mattered. It was this clarity that helped us face difficult moments, like investor rejections and lack of support. Instead of being swayed by other opportunities or difficulties, we remained firm in our vision of empowering small businesses. This focus is like a beacon that lights the way, guiding every step. I often say that if you know exactly what you want, decisions become simpler. When people ask me why we didn't expand into other areas, I'd explain that the goal was much greater than just rapid growth. We were building something with a lasting impact, and that required exclusive dedication. The commitment to a single vision allowed us to dedicate all our resources and energy to making Alibaba a global reference platform. Without this focus, we might have fallen into the trap of trying to do everything and ending up doing nothing truly significant. Having a clear goal also inspires those around you, motivating them to move forward with the same determination. At Alibaba, everyone knew the purpose was to empower small entrepreneurs, giving them a fair chance to compete. This kept us united, especially when criticisms and doubts about our capacity for success arose. When a team shares the same vision, it becomes stronger and more determined, ready to face any adversity that appears along the way. Therefore, defining a goal is more than just setting a target. It's creating a compass that guides every step of your journey, making the path clearer and decisions easier. When you have clarity about what you want, it's easier to say no to distractions and keep moving forward. This kind of focus transforms a simple idea into a mission and is what makes a dream a reality. I believe the greatest advances are born out of overcoming. At the beginning of Alibaba, everything was against us. Little money, little experience, and a market that still didn't believe in the potential of e-commerce in China. But these challenges were also an immense source of motivation. When you find yourself facing an obstacle, it awakens a fighting energy, a desire to prove the opposite and go beyond expectations. This sense of overcoming was what gave me the strength to turn the impossible into reality. Discomfort can be our best ally. It forces us to step out of our comfort zone and think innovatively. I always say that if you really want to achieve something great, you have to learn to love challenges, because it's in those difficult moments that the best ideas and most creative solutions are born. When I see young entrepreneurs, I notice that many avoid difficult situations, but it's precisely this confrontation that brings the greatest rewards. The bigger the challenge, the greater the personal and professional growth it provides. The desire to overcome each obstacle showed me there were no limits to what we could achieve. When we faced a new barrier, the question wasn't, can we do it, but how are we going to do this? This mindset shift is essential to turn problems into opportunities. Each time we overcome, it strengthens our ability to face the next challenge, creating a continuous cycle of evolution and success. This is how Alibaba grew, not by avoiding problems, but by facing each one head-on. More than motivating, overcoming challenges teaches us to value the process, not just the final result. For me, each difficulty was an opportunity to prove that we were on the right path. It was also a chance to show the market and ourselves that determination is worth more than any financial or technological resource. When we have this motivation, we can face even the biggest challenges with confidence, knowing that each small step brings us closer to our vision. This mindset of overcoming isn't just about winning, it's about learning and growing with every challenge. It makes us understand that problems aren't there to stop us, but to make us better. Today, looking back, I see that it was these challenges that built Alibaba and gave us the strength to keep growing. And this motivation to overcome, to turn challenges into achievements, is what truly defines an extraordinary life. I've always believed that the future lies in the hands of young people, and that it begins right now. When I started Alibaba, we had no money, no cutting-edge technology, no connections. We were just a group of people in a cramped apartment. But we had something essential, a vision that, with hard work and a focus on the future, we could build something grand. Many around us doubted that the internet would be this transformative, but we already saw the possibilities. Today, I see that young people have an enormous advantage as they have access to resources and tools we couldn't even imagine. Technology is one of the greatest opportunities of our era, a true equalizer. It allows anyone, anywhere, to have access to the world and compete globally. At Alibaba, we've always had the mission of empowering small entrepreneurs because we believed they deserved a chance to succeed. The internet made this possible, democratizing opportunities and leveling the playing field. And this is the foundation of the future. A society where everyone has access to the knowledge and tools to develop themselves. Education is a fundamental part of this process. I often say that to lead in the future, we need to learn what machines cannot do. We need to develop skills like creativity, emotional intelligence, and complex problem solving. Characteristics that make us human and that technology cannot replace. For young people who aspire to shape the future, the message is clear. Invest in your unique abilities. Learn to use technology wisely and see every challenge as an opportunity for growth. When I look at the new generation, I see immense potential for innovation and for creating a more inclusive and sustainable future. In my time, we started from scratch, but today, you have a world of resources at your disposal. With the internet, smartphones, and global education, the only thing missing is the will to turn these tools into solutions for present-day problems. The future isn't something distant. It's built daily, in the choices we make now. So don't wait for tomorrow. The future you dream of starts in the present. Young people have the energy, potential, and, most importantly, the tools to lead the world in a better direction. Let's be the ones who use what we have to make a difference today, transforming our society and creating a legacy for future generations. This is the true power of those who decide to act now. For the future is an open invitation to those who are ready to shape it.
Jack Ma shared powerful lessons on the paths to an extraordinary life, leaving everyone inspired by his experience and unique vision. His words, marked by an unmistakable energy, showed how he turned challenges into achievements and adversity into life lessons. From the decision to eliminate Plan B and focus with absolute determination to the belief that the future belongs to young people, each insight Jack revealed brought a new perspective on persistence, innovation, and courage. Jack Ma explained that discomfort is actually an essential ally on the path to growth, pushing us beyond our limits. He also highlighted the importance of learning from every failure and the power of resilience, which allows us to always get back up after a fall. And if you've ever thought of giving up when faced with barriers, he showed how a clear vision and constant motivation to overcome turn any difficulty into fuel for success. What was most impactful was hearing how he sees the future. Something that starts now and is in the hands of everyone who dares to act and innovate. For Jack, young people are the engine of this transformation, with the tools and energy needed to shape an inclusive and technological future. His every teaching was a provocation to think differently, act with courage, and embrace the purpose of creating a meaningful life. Jack Ma emphasizes that removing Plan B from one's strategy is key to achieving extraordinary success. He believes that having a backup plan can weaken one's commitment to the primary goal. Without the safety net of an alternative, people are compelled to give their best, putting all their energy into what truly matters. Isn't that what we ultimately want? To focus wholeheartedly on a single path and make it happen? This bold approach is surprisingly effective. By eliminating distractions and secondary plans, the path to the goal becomes clear and straightforward. Jack Ma shows that full commitment is the only reliable route to success. Without an exit route, challenges become more intense but also more meaningful, pushing us to dig deeper. Imagine scaling a mountain with no choice but to continue forward. Every step becomes deliberate, driven by the understanding that quitting isn't an option. By adopting this mindset, a world of potential opens up and true abilities emerge. Many successful figures share this philosophy. Steve Jobs, for example, avoided Plan B when developing Apple's groundbreaking products. This approach doesn't equate to recklessness, but rather signifies an unshakable trust in one's purpose and primary plan. What might happen if you too made such a committed choice? Making the decision to have only one plan isn't easy, but it brings clarity. With no safety net, we become intensely focused, leaving no room for distractions or half-hearted attempts. Every ounce of effort goes into making that one plan succeed, and the commitment itself brings a sense of satisfaction. Are you prepared to make a choice so resolute? Without the comfort of a backup plan, Jack Ma argues people must tap into their full potential. The lack of a safety net can feel intimidating, yet it's precisely this discomfort that sparks growth and creativity. Each action becomes more calculated, each effort more intense, pushing people beyond the boundaries they once set for themselves. Discomfort, though uneasy, leads to unexpected breakthroughs. This state of unease often fuels innovation. When there's no fallback, the mind becomes surprisingly resourceful, discovering ways to tackle challenges that may have once felt overwhelming. Jack believes that without an alternative, we become adaptable, open to new strategies that allow us to move forward. It's this flexibility, born of necessity, that leads to some of our most impactful ideas. The power of discomfort is evident in fields from sports to technology. Elite athletes, for instance, embrace physical discomfort to achieve peak performance, understanding that growth only occurs when limits are tested. This principle applies beyond sports. In any area where improvement is pursued, pushing past discomfort is essential. So could your discomfort be the catalyst for your next big success? Discomfort isn't something to fear. It's a unique source of power. Instead of holding you back, it propels you toward new heights. As you step into the unknown, your resourcefulness kicks in, finding solutions and adapting as needed. Is it possible that by embracing discomfort, you might unlock a greater version of yourself? Jack Ma challenges the fear of failure, reminding us that every success story, from Michael Jordan to Oprah Winfrey, includes moments of failure. In Jack's perspective, failure is not a roadblock, but a necessary part of growth, strengthening resilience each time. Instead of avoiding it, he teaches us to view failure as a teacher, guiding us toward our ultimate goals. Failure offers powerful lessons, refining our approach and strengthening our resolve. Each setback gives insight into what doesn't work, helping us adjust and approach challenges from a new perspective. For Jack, these failures aren't a loss but steps toward success, adding layers of experience and determination that make us stronger. In every misstep, there's an opportunity to learn. The idea that failure is beneficial might seem daunting, yet it's a critical step in every journey to success. Many fear failure, but Jack's advice is to face it directly, knowing that each failed attempt shapes the skills necessary to excel. He views failure as a crucial element of life, a phase in the journey to achievement that cannot be skipped. Like an athlete who learns from every defeat, each setback becomes a building block in the journey. Each failure, though uncomfortable, adds to the experience that ultimately leads to a more profound success. What could you accomplish if you embraced failure instead of fearing it? For Jack Ma, true success is defined by resilience, not by avoiding failure, but by rising after each fall. He believes that success is a journey with many obstacles and that the ability to get up repeatedly is what distinguishes achievers. It's this resilience that builds inner strength, creating a person capable of handling any adversity thrown their way. Resilience means confronting hardships head-on, learning from each experience, and continuing undeterred. Jack teaches us that every fall is a chance to grow, to become wiser and stronger. The journey is filled with trials, but each time we stand up again, we become more resilient, better prepared to face the future with confidence. When we're resilient, setbacks become stepping stones rather than barriers. Jack's philosophy encourages us to view every fall as a chance to build our endurance and move forward. Instead of fearing failure, he sees it as a necessary part of growth, something that should be welcomed as an opportunity for development. Each time we rise after a fall, we come one step closer to achieving our true potential. Life's journey has its ups and downs, and resilience ensures we emerge stronger each time. Is there any setback that could truly hold you back when you've embraced this resilient mindset? Persistence, according to Jack Ma, is the fuel that drives success and personal growth. He believes that true achievements are not born from single attempts, but from countless efforts that refine one's skills. This persistent pursuit, despite obstacles, is what allows talent to mature and potential to be realized. Each attempt builds on the last, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Jack's own journey reflects this philosophy. He faced countless rejections, yet he kept pushing forward, transforming every setback into a step toward his ultimate success with Alibaba. Persistence keeps you grounded and focused, allowing each small win to contribute to the bigger picture. With persistence, even seemingly impossible goals become achievable. It's the repetition of effort that ultimately builds mastery and transforms each setback into momentum. This consistency makes every attempt a little better than the last, gradually leading to success. Jack's story shows how persistence creates a path even where there seems to be none. Progress might be slow at times, but persistence ensures that each step brings you closer to your goal. Imagine what you could accomplish if you refused to stop, no matter how challenging the path might be. Could persistence be the key to your own success? Jack Ma stresses that fear of failure often limits our potential. He believes that true productivity emerges only when we release the anxiety of possible setbacks. Fear narrows our thinking, but confidence frees us to fully engage in our work, allowing creativity and productivity to flourish without hesitation. With a relaxed mindset, we become more innovative and willing to take calculated risks. Jack's advice is to approach tasks confidently, without the cloud of doubt. This shift allows one to think clearly and face problems with an open mind, enabling effective solutions that may have otherwise gone unnoticed. Fear is like a barrier that blocks our growth. When you let go of it, you find yourself in a place of confidence where your work becomes meaningful and fulfilling. It's not about ignoring the possibility of failure, but accepting it and moving forward anyway, confident in your ability to succeed. This shift in perspective can have a profound effect, turning every task into a chance for growth. Could releasing fear make you more productive and fully engaged in your work? Having a single, clear goal is like having a map that directs every decision along the way. Jack Ma underscores the importance of a focused objective, explaining that without one, it's easy to become distracted. When your goal is clear, you can concentrate on what truly matters, leaving distractions behind. A focused mind is capable of immense achievements. When we know where we're headed, every decision becomes easier, every step more deliberate. Jack's own journey shows that clarity and purpose helps in saying no to distractions, keeping you on the path to success. This clarity gives each action meaning, ensuring that you're always working toward your bigger goals. Jack believes that when you have a clear objective, each step you take brings you closer to what you truly want. Without distractions, achieving your dreams becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Setting clear goals is the foundation of achievement, making the journey simpler and more rewarding. Are your goals focused enough to keep you on the path toward success? Jack Ma believes that personal growth is fueled by challenging oneself and leaving the comfort zone behind. Without a fallback plan, discomfort can ignite a powerful drive to succeed, pushing people to find creative solutions and persevere when others might give up. Facing challenges not only brings out the best in us, but also helps us discover untapped potential. When the road isn't easy, we learn to navigate through difficult situations, developing skills and resilience we might have never otherwise gained. Jack emphasizes that this approach transforms obstacles into opportunities. Challenge brings out strengths we never knew we had. The discomfort forces us to grow, adapt, and learn quickly, traits essential for success in any field. Jack shows us that every struggle, every barrier, is a chance to find new solutions, to become better and stronger. Each challenge you face and overcome brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. Would embracing challenges instead of avoiding them unlock your full potential? For Jack Ma, success is more than a goal. It's an unyielding pursuit. He believes that dreams should be chased relentlessly, a commitment that strengthens the will to succeed. With an unwavering focus on success, you build the resilience needed to overcome setbacks, trusting in your ability to grow and evolve. This determination instills the energy to tackle hardships and setbacks. Jack's own story is a testament to his belief that true success requires a steadfast heart, one that remains strong in the face of adversity. With this outlook, every step toward success becomes a meaningful milestone. Unwavering commitment to a goal encourages perseverance through the toughest moments. Jack Ma's life illustrates that success isn't just about reaching the end, but embracing every struggle along the way. This mindset fosters not just achievement, but also personal growth, as each trial adds to your strength. Would adopting this dedicated mindset make your own journey to success unstoppable? When you remain fully committed to your dreams, each obstacle becomes another step on the path to your ultimate vision. Now that you have these teachings in hand, the question is, how are you going to put them into practice? Each step shared is an opportunity to transform your vision and walk the path to an extraordinary life. Remember that success is not just a distant goal, but a daily choice of commitment, persistence, and overcoming. Are you ready to take the next step and focus on your plan A without fear of the challenges? Share in the comments the point that resonated most with you and why it's important in your journey. And remember, whenever you need inspiration, come back here and revisit these lessons to keep you motivated. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning and growing with content that boosts your career. And be sure to watch the next video, Jack Ma's #1 rule to achieve your dreams, the brutal truth revealed, where we'll dive into new strategies for achieving your goals and living with purpose.